What if corruption never truly disappears? What if, instead of just vanishing after a court case or a news cycle, it is a passed down, almost like DNA? It's a chilling thought, but one that gets closer to the truth than we might be comfortable with. We often think of corruption as a modern crime, something that happens here and now, dealt with by our legal systems. But what if the real consequences operate on a much longer timeline, rippling across generations? Today, we go in to explore a concept that challenges everything we think we know about justice. The idea that corruption creates a moral debt, an unresolved imbalance that gets inherited by families, bloodlines, and even entire nations. This isn't about superstition. It's about the invisible, yet powerful, forces that shape our world. When we talk about corruption, we usually picture a shady backroom deal, a bribe, or a public official misusing funds. We see it as a discrete act, committed by an individual, with legal consequences. But this view is incredibly limited. Under a broader, more universal sense of justice, every action creates a ripple. When an act of corruption is committed, enabled, or even just ignored, it doesn't just end when the perpetrator is caught or gets away with it. It creates a moral debt. Think of it like an unpaid bill. Legal punishment is like a collection agency trying to settle the account, but it doesn't always clear the original debt, especially if the harm done was for this unresolved injustice. This moral imbalance lingers. It becomes part of a collective legacy. This is where the idea of generational corruption comes in. This isn't just a metaphor. When a family benefits from ill-gotten gains, that advantage is passed down. The wealth, the opportunities, the social standing, all of it is built on a rotten foundation. The children and grandchildren might be completely innocent, unaware of the original crime, yet they inherit the fruits of that corruption. But they also inherit the invisible debt attached to it. This inherited injustice can manifest in countless ways. It could be a family that, despite its wealth, is plagued by misfortune, internal conflict, or a strange sense of emptiness. It's as if the universe is constantly trying to rebalance the scales. The energy of the original unjust act is still active, seeking resolution. Our ancestors aren't just figures in old photographs. They represent unfinished chapters. When justice is denied in one generation, that unresolved energy doesn't just dissipate. It resurfaces, demanding attention in another. Let's look at this on a larger scale. Nations, just like families, can inherit a corruption legacy. Think about countries where corruption has been systemic for decades, or even centuries. You can change the leaders, rewrite the laws, and hold endless elections, but the underlying patterns of behavior persist. Why? Because the system itself has inherited the corruption. It's woven into the fabric of the institutions, the culture, and the public psyche. New leaders come into a system that is already tilted towards self-interest and deceit. The very tools they need to govern are often compromised. The public, having seen corruption go unpunished for so long, becomes cynical. They might start to believe that this is just how things are. This collective acceptance, or resignation, is a symptom of inherited injustice. The moral debt of the past hasn't been paid, it has simply been normalized. So, why does this unresolved injustice resurface? It's a fundamental principle of balance. Nature abhors a vacuum, and the moral universe seems to abhor an unresolved imbalance. When a great wrong is done and never truly accounted for, the story isn't over. The descendants, the nation, or the system will find themselves confronting the echoes of that original act. This might appear as a sudden economic crisis, a social upheaval, or a political scandal that seems to come out of nowhere, but is actually the culmination of decades of decay. It's the moral debt across generations coming due. It's the universe presenting the bill, again and again, until it is finally paid in full. Paying this debt doesn't always mean legal punishment. Sometimes it means truth and reconciliation. It means acknowledging the harm that was done. It means dismantling the systems that allowed the corruption to flourish. And on a personal level, it means choosing a path of integrity, even when it's difficult to break the cycle. This concept of generational corruption isn't meant to be discouraging. It's empowering. It tells us that our actions today have a weight and a significance that extend far beyond our own lives. When we fight against corruption, when we demand accountability, when we refuse to participate in or turn a blind eye to injustice, we aren't just cleaning up our present. We are healing the past and protecting the future. We are settling the moral debts of our ancestors and ensuring we do pass on a legacy of corruption to our descendants. Think about the systems you are a part of: your family, your workplace, your community, your country. Where do you see the patterns of inherited injustice? Where do you see the legacy of past corruption playing out? Recognizing it is the first step. The second, and most important, step is deciding what you are going to do about it. Are you going to be a part of the cycle, or are you going to be the one who breaks it? The moral debt across generations is real, but so is our power to resolve it. Every choice for integrity, no matter how small it seems, is a payment on that debt. It's a deposit into a future built, not on the shifting sands of deceit, but on the solid ground of justice. The work is long, and it spans lifetimes, but it is the most important work we can do. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into a topic that affects us all. If this resonated with you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue the conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that challenges the way we see the world. Until next time.